On this Friday episode, we're going to talk about a number of things today, given this, a special Friday episode. Talk about the Women's March, some Mayweather-McGregor and what's going on there, and those crazy press conferences, and Planet of the Apes, and Black Lives Matter, and Border Wall. Yesterday was National French Fries Day, and one thing that I've been talking about ever since the podcast started about the Founding Project. The website is live today, and we will be playing, some things as far as some commercials, I guess if you want to call it, but definitely going to be talking about that today, all on this episode of Trend Chat. Welcome everybody to another episode, a special Friday episode of Trend Chat. I'm your host, Brian Bledsoe. And if you want to get in touch with us on social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, it's all the same name, Trend Chat 24/7. And I am a contributor to politics.com. And if you want to read some of my articles there, you can go to politics.com/author/Brian Bledsoe. Also, the book, Politics, A Clarion Call to Political Activism, is available now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can pick that up, over 300 pages from different contributors like myself, talking about different subjects, whether it's education, healthcare, social issues, etc., activism. And my article is featured in that section about activism, about becoming a delegate to the Republican National Convention last year. And anyone who is interested in political activism, I was just to pick that up. And one thing I think about the book in particular, this is the perfect time for a book like this to talk about being active, because unfortunately it seems like, and it happens on both sides, but whenever the party that you support is in the majority, or is in power, people just tend to want to kind of sit back and kind of get complacent, and it's kind of the worst time to kind of sit back, and because now you actually could do something. You actually have a better chance of getting your agenda passed, or getting legislation that goes towards your views to actually see the light of day, put it that way. But unfortunately, it tends to happen to where people just tend to just kind of calm down, I guess, or just maybe just don't even get engaged at all, not to the level that they were when the party wasn't in power. So it's kind of a flip. It's kind of a one way kind of a mixed up way of looking at it, I guess. Just like when you're out of power, you're all motivated, but then once you get in power, all of a sudden you're not as motivated to get the things that you were advocating for in the past. But yeah, like I said, I was just thinking about that, as far as just thinking about political activism, and just people just need to make sure to stay engaged just as much as they was when you had when the Republicans were in power, or not in the White House or something like that. So that being said, like I said, today was the Women's March. It was a Women's March the day after the inauguration, but this is another Women's March. This one targeting the NRA, pretty much, and just saying, talking about quote unquote gun violence or whatnot. I just say it like this: is basically just it was a march for people who were scared of guns and wanted to infringe on other people's right to have guns. That was the march was all about, really. Not so much they can say all what they want as far as what is gun sense or whatever like that. No, it's all about gun control. It's all about just trying to basically take our rights to bear arms, and they can care less. It was ironic about that because the main contributors of this march, they had no problem walking around with armed security. So that's kind of, it's very hypocritical that you feel like, okay, we need guns to protect us because one, we have raised the money, or either pay for it yourself. It really doesn't matter if you pay for it yourself or if someone else paying for you. Just the fact that you feel like, okay, we need to protect ourselves with guns, but everybody else, well, forget what y'all need. Y'all have the police for that. We don't care about your own personal safety, because if the police can't help you, then, well, too bad for you. That's basically what their argument is, because if they're marching for gun control, and they basically want to make it to where only the police basically have guns, which I think about a lot of times. It's kind of, you have, especially in talking about marches, you turn around and have these groups like Black Lives Matter that want to march against the police, and then you have a march with the women's march saying that trying to take guns away from just private citizens and basically leaving the police as the only one there for your security. Okay, on one hand, you're protesting the police, so then on the other hand, you want to give the police even more power? I mean, sound like which way is it? I don't get it. I mean, you have a lot of these protests where they don't trust the police, but yet they want to trust the police for their security. But if you don't trust them, why are you giving them so much power of your security instead of, securing yourself? That's why you have the Second Amendment to bear arms, to the right to self-defense. So that's kind of confusing. Now I'm just saying that, but yeah. So that what was going on today in D.C. and Dana Lash had, that's one. I guess that was one person they was kind of focusing on a little bit, was Dana Lash as well, just because of that whole ad a couple of weeks ago where they just basically lost their minds, just getting all triggered about just reading into whatever little things was said and just making it seem like it was a call for violence, even though, like I've said before, she's talking about a clenched fist of truth. But yet they hear that, and all of a sudden they all of a sudden start thinking about, getting shot and having people dragged out in the streets. I mean, they just really got triggered over that whole thing. It was just ridiculous. It's just, I don't know. And from that, basically came this women's march, kind of spurred that whole thing on. So anyway, I know trying to see, it's funny, I was saying about coming on, like I put a post saying I'll be on in 30 minutes, and then I got to mess around with sound and listening to different little sound effects, and next thing I know 30 minutes passed and I got to get on. But one thing that I mentioned in the beginning is that if anyone has been listening to this program since the beginning, I always talk about this group, the Founding Project. And one of the things I always bring up, I always say, well, the website is coming. And I will keep saying the website is coming. And then I'll say the website coming in July. And then I will say, okay, it's coming in this week. And now, today is July 14th. And the website is live. It is live right now. TheFounderProject.com. That is the website. TheFounderProject.com. And so another thing I mentioned, that now you won't be hearing, you're not going to hear me so much talking about the Founder Project, other than, kind of like just talking about it in general. But from now on, now we actually have Maggie Dine to actually give you a few words about the Founder Project. And I'm going to play one of three of these, so y'all can hear where y'all need to go and get some more information. So that being said, here's the first commercial for the Founder Project.
Listeners, if you like the Founding Project's Civics Education video series, Civics for All Ages, and our educational meme series, we think you will love our new website. Join us at thefoundingproject.com and be a part of the civics movement. The Founding Project is a 501c3 education nonprofit. Please join us today.
Yep, and there you go. So from now on, you'll be hearing that, directing everyone to the website. So, and so like I said, that's one of three. We'll just be playing those here and there. We're going to play all three today, mainly because today is the day that the website launched. But yeah, definitely excited about it. It's live now, and like I said, I'm just saying now, everyone that's listening, go to thefounderproject.com, check them out, bringing civics to citizens. I mentioned it at a Republican meeting on Tuesday when one of the speakers brought up about the lack of civics being taught in schools. And I've been talking about the Founder Project so much, so when I hear the word civics, like, it just pops in my head, Founder Project. And so when someone says civics, I'm like, oh, okay. So after the speaker finished, and I went up later on that night, it was still in the back of my mind. So I just brought it up again. I know that, I told them, so I heard you mention civics. And so there's a group out there that's starting up called the Founder Project. And that's what I told the people at this Republican meeting on Tuesday. So anytime I'm somewhere and I have a chance to speak or something, and I hear someone talk about civics, it's just going to pop up in my mind, because the Founder Project is like right there, like in the fore part of my mind right now whenever I hear anything about civics. So I don't know how many people has been listening to this. Now, I'm not talking about this, but I'm just talking about as far as this, I guess the fight of the century, I guess you can call it. You got Floyd Mayweather going against Conor McGregor on August the 26th. And this week they had a whole, 4 press conferences just going across from LA to Canada to New York and London was today. And basically just hyping up the fight, basically. And I saw all of them just on UFC Facebook page, and I tell you, I remember when people were talking about this fight for the past 2 years, maybe a year or so, and people were saying like, well, the press conference is going to be better than the fight. The press conference is where it's at, and because both of these guys are like a big trash talkers and whatnot, and they really hype up a fight, whether talking about their opponent or whatever like that. And I watched all these press conferences. I mean, it was like it was real, just, I guess you said sophomoric in a way. Just, there was no cleverness in anything they were saying. It was all F this, F that, you this, you I mean, it was like middle school in a way. And I'm like, they really, I mean, they all just saying the same thing. So I remember seeing the first one. I'm like, okay, maybe it's the first one. They're just warming up. Maybe they might, get better as the press conferences go. But no, if you saw the first one, it basically was the same. The next 3. Even though it's not like you had to do the same thing because this audience didn't see it. Most time, I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, the people who saw the previous press conference or there. They saw what you said and whatnot, and it just seemed like, yeah, it definitely wasn't what was advertised as far as how they're going to go at each other as far as trash talking goes, because it's basically just a whole bunch of just cursing at each other. Basically, you would be, you would this, you would that, just and going back and forth. Oh, shut up. And that's all they was doing, just doing that back and forth. I'm like, man, that's it. Like, I kind of thought they were going to be like, real kind of, I don't know, I kind of thought they might use more props or something like, but they were just basically just shouting back at each other and just, yeah. it was weird. Well, plus also, for me, given the fact that I watch professional wrestling, I watch WWE, so you see that type of trash talking because, I mean, in professional wrestling all the time. So, and so by watching that and then watching this, it's kind of like, I've seen better on Monday nights on Raw. So, and when it comes to that, minus the actual physical contact that will happen in August. But who knows? I think it's kind of funny as far as this whole fight goes, because I don't see how much amount of talking Conor McGregor does. At the end of the day, they basically to me, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but it seems like we're talking about a professional boxer going against an amateur as far as in the boxing ring. And I don't see how this really should be much of a contest or in it, or I mean, I don't know how the odds are and what that, I don't know, but how does this seem to be such a big fight just because of someone's, I guess, how good someone can talk? Because outside of that, I don't see where this could be competitive. Now, it could be, I don't know, but on the face of it, basically this is a professional boxer, experienced boxer at that, going against someone who is an amateur at best. And if you just had that, just take the names out of it and just explain it like that, then people are like, well, I'm going to watch that. Kind of feel like what's going to happen. And the press conference is already passed now, and that was free. So, and now you're going to ask me to pay. Last time I checked, it was like $99, almost $100 for me to watch this. No, I can't. I don't have no reason to pay $99 for the actual fight. Because now, if McGregor won, then obviously there will be a rematch probably. That would be the one I'm like, okay, I'm interested now. Because there was no way I saw that coming. But then, he won, and now they'll probably fight again. I'll be more interested in seeing that because, okay, there was no, I guess it shouldn't be any chance of McGregor winning. I mean, just like I said, just looking at it, at base value. But oh well, it just I don't get it. I don't know where I'll be on August 26th. I mean, where I'll be driving, but if I'm somewhere, I guess if I'm near a Buffalo Wild Wings or something, I don't know whoever's place is showing it. If I'm near that on that night, I might go in and watch it, but that's about as much as I'm gonna do. I'm definitely not paying for that. But I know also, moving on, pretty quickly, I saw that the Emmys announced their nominees this week. And, I'm not finna get into all the who got nominated for this and that or whatnot. All I'm going to say is one thing. I can almost guarantee, I don't even know, like, I didn't watch who got nominated. I just know that the nominations happened this week. And I heard that Alec Baldwin got nominated for his portrayal of President Trump, on Saturday Night Live. That's all I've really heard. I've skimmed through a couple of articles, one article, put it that way, and I just say it right now. I don't know whoever is nominated with him in that category. I don't know what the category. I think. Well, hold on. I think it's best supporting actor or something. Anyway, I don't even care. Whoever's in the category, whatever category is, Alec Baldwin's going to win. I don't care if the other nominees did the best acting job of their life, and it's the best since Citizen Kane, or whatever your favorite movie is. It's not going to matter. Alec Baldwin's going to win that Emmy. That is probably the only guarantee I'll put in on the Emmys, because all those liberals that are going to be voting got a kick out of watching Alec Baldwin, and they're more than happy to reward him with the Emmy. So that's the only prediction I know that's going to happen. Well, I would be very shocked if he didn't win. I really would be. And I mean, not that I'll be following it like that, but it's just too easy for them not to give it to him, just because of their hatred for Trump and how much they love how he made Trump look on Saturday Night Live. So yeah, that's all I had on the Emmys, really, because that's just when I saw that. And well, I guess in the same vein, talking about entertainment, I know since today's Friday and War for the Planet of the Apes, I think it's War of the Planet of the Apes. But anyway, the Planet of the Apes movie is out, and I'm probably I know I'm gonna watch it probably tonight, somewhere, and sometime this week. You had people from Black Lives Matter and specifically DeRay McKesson got triggered once again, kind of like the people from the Women's March. I know I posted something on Facebook of someone kind of just searching through a whole bunch of papers, just searching, and I put that on Facebook, kind of like just saying that it's basically what Black Lives Matter, DeRay, and all of their ilk, I will say, just every day, just searching through Twitter and social media websites. They're just searching every day just to find something to say is racist or offended about something, and just anything. They just finding something to get triggered by, I guess. Anyway, on one of the movie posters for the movie that's out today, there was one of the apes had a blue vest on, and then apparently I forgot the guy's name. I don't care to even try to remember, but kind of put up a tweet saying, "Is this racially motivated, or is this showing DeRay because he had a blue vest on?" And without even looking up anything about Planet of the Apes, he just jumped on it. Yeah, I mean he's deleted the tweet now, but why didn't you look it up before you got behind it? You could have just did a little research before you jumped on saying, yeah, they talk about me. I mean, that's really narcissistic, really. You kind of feel like everything's about you or about black people. Yeah. I mean, it feel like these Black Lives Matter people, man, they just look around and think everything's about black folks. Like white folks just wake up, let's see what we can say or what we can create to denigrate black people today. And it's like they feel like white people are just thinking about how to put down black folks. And in another sense, talking about Black Lives Matter, it's like they feel like like police is just waking up every morning. Well, let me see. All right, let me see how I can kill some black folks today. That's what they kind of make it feel like as far as for police every day. Especially like if something tragic happens. Like that was murder. And yeah, so, and like I said, it just seems like it's constantly trying to find something, find any little thing to post a tweet about some say, look what they're doing to us again, blah blah, whatever. It's just whatever. But like I said, I think the movie's gonna be pretty good. I like the past 2 Planet Apes movies. Seems like it's being critically acclaimed right now. So, before we go on to the next topic, and play another clip about the Founder Project. If you don't know by now, or just tuning in, the Founder Project website is live now. It is thefounderproject.com. And here's another clip about it.
Hello, Trend Chat fans. The Founding Project invites you to experience our latest resource to take civics to citizens, TFP's new website. Visit us at www.thefoundingproject.com. Be a part of the civics movement with the Founding Project. The Founding Project is a 501c3 education nonprofit. Join us today.
Yep, there you go. TheFounderProject.com. Go to it. And so now I was planning on doing a show yesterday, but my primary job is driving the truck, and sometimes I could have went on. It would have been at 12 o'clock. It would have been near midnight. And so I'll just wait till Friday. And plus, like I said, the website was going live today too. So I'm like, well, yeah, might as well wait till Friday. So, but yesterday was National French Fry Day. Now, look, I don't know how all these national days keep coming up. And especially when it come up to food, I just feel like this is the food industry way of trying to get more people to eat either pancakes, donuts, French fries, chicken, rice, I don't know, fish, anything. I feel like whatever that industry is. So today's National French Fries Day. I wouldn't be surprised if something McDonald's cooked up. Just so people could go get French fries and go to McDonald's more than they already are. But that being said, I do like French fries. And it just made me think, as far as, I actually do like McDonald's French fries. They're pretty good. Now, I'm just, yeah. I don't know if y'all ever heard this restaurant called Checkers, but I think Checkers and Rally's are both the same. So I don't know if anybody heard either one of those. I like their fries. They're seasoned fries. When they're cooked right. Well, that's true for any of these fries. You can go to McDonald's and get some bad fries if they ain't fresh. So, and yeah, I'll say McDonald's, Checkers. And Chick-fil-A. Those waffle fries. Yep. One of them waffle fries are really good. All right, quit talking about food. I know, well, also today, well, not today, but this week, President Trump's border wall got some funding. It was kind of under the radar, kind of came out of nowhere. I guess with all the other things that are kind of going on, especially when you're talking about healthcare and the bill in the Senate and all that. But all of a sudden there was a tweet about 1.6 billion going towards the border wall. I'm like, what? Wow. This is actually going to happen. But I'm not getting too excited yet, because I believe it when I see it built. When I start seeing the bricks or whatever they're going to put on the border laid, whatever it is out there, I'll wait till then. And I just want to say again, I have mentioned before, I'm more than willing to offer my services driving a truck to haul some of these materials down to the border if they need it. I have no problem doing that for my country. Now, it can't be free unless I do a free for a week. I put it out there. I do it free for a week. After that, I have to get paid. I ain't got money like that. So, but yeah. So now you got the funds for the wall, at least starting off, at least, and that's great. I'm all about border security, and And, I've said before, whether it's a wall, it doesn't, just some sort of barrier. Let's put it that way. Some sort of barrier on the border. I don't care if it's a wall. I don't care if it's drones, laser beams, or, a river full of sharks. I don't care what it is. Just some sort of barrier between Mexico and the United States. Just something. I mean, it could be a row full of trucks from Canada, not Canada, from California all the way across. I don't care what it is. Just have something. It's not just an open border. So whatever that is, so if it's a wall with cameras and drones flying around, whatever. Just get the best, most efficient way to secure the border. And do it. And so, yep. Well, we're going to go on to the last clip here. And I'll mention once more time, thefounderproject.com. That's all I have to say now. Thefounderproject.com. We also have a Facebook page still. Just search The Founder Project to go to the Facebook page. But thefounderproject.com is live right now. And I've been told that if you mention something 3 times, it really sticks. So I've mentioned this maybe 7 times today. So it should be sticking with you right now. And so here's the last clip about thefounderproject.com. There we go again. And after this, we'll move on to the next subject.
Hello to fans of Trend Chat and Brian Bledsoe. The Founding Project, an education nonprofit dedicated to civics, invites you to visit our brand new website. Visit us at thefoundingproject.com. Be a part of the civics movement with The Founding Project. The Founding Project is a 501c3 education nonprofit. Please join us today.
Yeah. So, and that was just a sound effect. I messing around. Actually, that's why I mentioned it earlier. Where I was just messing with sound, just grabbing things. I wonder how that sounds. Just playing it, just to guess have some other things to play. I guess to use a transition sound or something like that. So next week, I should be making my way to Denver for the Western Conservative Summit, and looking forward to being up there and just to cover it for Politics and hopefully get some interviews for the program. Don't have no clue who it'll be. We'll find out when we get there, or maybe I might find out a couple of people. We'll get in contact with some and maybe able to schedule some things out. But I know, and basically after that, for me at least, as far as I guess any out of state trips, this will probably be it as far as out of state trips to cover an event. So I'll be at the Texas Tribune Festival in September. I go to that, and then some things for Heritage. But as far as like going to something kind of like a CPAC or NRA convention, something like that, after this, I'm pretty much done until next year. Look forward to go to CPAC next year, and then the NRA convention, which is in Dallas next year. So, and other than that, I'm thinking about actually going to Comic-Con next year. Comic-Con it's next week, and it's something I always wanted to go to, is Comic-Con out in San Diego. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a comic book convention. And it's basically where, it's a huge event of people, about comic books, and a lot of times the big comic book movies show their trailers and things about what's coming up in the years to come, and I've always thought about going there. I think about maybe applying for press credentials to go to Comic-Con, and I guess we'll see what happens. But even if not, I might go as a attendee. Maybe, I don't know. I just want to go one time, just to experience it one time, I guess. But it's kind of funny. I think about my interests in general, and a lot of my interests are in subjects that tend to be unpopular to, I guess you could say, general audience or casual or just your everyday people. I'm just thinking about, here we are on Trend Chat talking about political issues, political topics or whatnot. And that's something people don't really want to talk about. It's something that people, kind of like some people say that, okay, it's not polite to talk about politics or religion. So, which stinks for me, because those are two things I like to talk about. And, I'm just thinking about as far as the how, I guess, unpopular that tends to be to talk around just, people you don't know or whatnot. And either it's that, and then also being a Christian, that's something that people tend to not want to not talk about openly, I guess. And just like politics. And then go even further, talk about some hobbies. Like I like to watch professional wrestling, like I mentioned before, like watching WWE or something like that. That's something people tend to be a little ashamed of. They don't tell everyone, "Hey, I watch wrestling." People tend to don't want people to know that they are a wrestling fan or something like that, because then they have their own judgments about you. And I'm telling you about it right here now. If you do, I really don't care. But I'm just thinking about it myself, is that these interests that I have, all of these have, in one way or another, are topics and subjects that tend to make people afraid to, I guess, to be open and to talk openly about whatever these things are, because they don't want to. If they talk about politics, they don't want to show that they are Democrat or Republican or neither or whatever like that. Or if they're Christian, they don't want to upset someone that maybe not Christian. And if they talk about wrestling, they don't want them to think that they're dumb or whatever or something like that. And even Comic-Con, comic books, you have a lot of people that go to Comic-Con that they will go there as basically as a way of being free to be themselves there, because in a lot of cases in their normal jobs, they probably don't tell anybody that they're into comic books or like, comic book movies or whatever, or even go so far as dressing up, do the whole cosplay, dressing up like whether it's Star Wars, dressing up like Darth Vader or whatever. A lot of people tend to be ashamed to want to say that, to open up about that to people, because they don't know about if they'll be judged about that. And oh well, you're hearing it here, and that's it. For me, because I have so many interests in all these kind of closed off subjects in general for people, I've just came to the point where I just don't care. If someone talks about wrestling, I'll talk right back to you about it. Politics or whatever. Talk about theology. Those are things that I'm interested in, so I had no problem talking about it. And yeah, that was just something that I was just thinking about, because I was looking at all these different things I was going to talk about. Like, most people don't even want to talk about this stuff, like they don't mind listening to podcasts like this, or much bigger podcast about these subjects. But as far as just coming up to somebody and just, hey, let's talk about the border wall. Let's talk about President Trump or something. I mean, that's really divisive right there. Whew. Don't just strike up a conversation about him. Well, some people don't want to, unless you. Now, if you want to, yeah, go ahead. But yeah. So, hope everybody has a nice weekend. As I mentioned before, I guess I'll go to watch War for the Planet of the Apes tonight. Probably talk about that on Tuesday. So, I appreciate everyone listening. I just looked at it again, the play numbers, the play count, I guess, and we're at 1,300 plays. I mean, that's wow. Thank you. I'm thanking you, all of you, for that. Thank you for listening for those 1,300 plays, and I appreciate every one of you. And we're just continuing on as we continue to get down the road. Like I said, on our way to Denver later on this week. Well, sometime this weekend. And so, yep, I guess we'll be talking with you on Tuesday. Have no idea if we have any guests on or anything, or what we'll be talking about, because this is Trend Chat. We talk about trends. So we don't know what to be trending by that time. So guess we'll go ahead and crank up the old truck and get going, get to driving around this country. And I guess by Tuesday we'll be in Denver. So, yep. Now, that's not me actually driving, y'all. Just want y'all to know I'm not doing the podcast while driving. That is a sound effect. Don't want y'all to calling up DOT or something called Department of Transportation saying, hey, this guy's driving while he's doing the podcast. Y'all need to, check into that, investigate a little bit. That's not the case. I'm telling you right now, there's a sound effect. See, like I said, it stopped. So, anyway, like I said, we'll be making our way, and I guess like I said, on Tuesday, I guess we'll be in Denver. So, until then, I guess we'll chat with you.